Hello there, this is Ocean Rush from a brand new company called Rayhaan Perfumes from the Middle East. This is from Dubai and this is the new hype train. Now we're going to find out on this particular video whether this is true to its hype and what's the potential of this particular fragrance and should you get it. Right after this introduction, my name is Rodney, you're watching The Perfume Experience and today we're going to review Ocean Rush from Rayhaan. So first of all, welcome back. And why is there a hype behind this? So this particular fragrance was made popular by aromatics and for another reason as well. So this particular fragrance was apparently created by Alberto Morillas. So you know that he's the god of Freshies and he has created a lot of fragrances. So if true, that means this is a fab fragrance, right? So that is one. Second, as a Freshie, this has apparently got a lot of performance. It's got a lot of lasting, so which is also quite unusual for a Freshie kind of a fragrance. So those are two elements why, because of which this particular fragrance has got a lot of hype, and you will see that on their website, Rayhaan Perfumes, this particular fragrance is out of stock. The most important factor, this is about 45 AED, which is about, I think about 20,100 rupees, Indian rupees. But then in India, it's about sold about, I got it for about 1550 from, fragrance seller from Facebook, but should be probably a little more than that in the days to come. So those are three primary reasons why there's a lot of hype about this particular fragrance, right? So one is Alberto Morillas, second is a long-lasting performance, third is of course the price factor, right? Now let's quickly discuss about this particular brand itself. So Rayhaan is created by a person called as Mr. Khalid. Now he or that particular family owns the Rasasi company as well. So it's a sister company of Rasasi. So the first notion is that there is going to be good quality that you will get for the price that you pay, right? So from that point of view, that is established as to how they have come into this particular fragrance market. Now, if you go to their website, rayhaanperfumes.com, you will actually find there are 3 or 4 different collections. So they have Elite, or they have Imperial collection, they have Aqua, they have Leather and all of that. So one of the lines is Aqua, and in which there are 3 fragrances. One is Pacific, one is Ocean Rush, and I think one is another called Fresh Wave, right? So 3 of them. So in that, Ocean Rush is the most popular among all of this, and like I said, this is the one which is out of stock. Now if you look at the fragrance itself, you will see that this is in a very nice blue colored bottle and it's got a nice white colored cap which kind of lifts off like this. At the back, they have this nice calligraphy kind of a design element that's there, which makes the bottle look very, very appealing. And this is a 100 ml bottle, and the box also is pretty nice. It comes in this kind of a box which has got some nice engraving, kind of a textured kind of a this calligraphy, and it's got the name, branding, and all of that written. At the bottom, it's also got the manufacturing, which is basically a September version of release of this particular fragrance, right? So that is in terms of what this particular brand is, and this, as you're watching, could be probably India's first review for this particular fragrance. So I'm really looking forward for you to hit the like button, subscribe, and share your comments and thoughts, and let us know what you like about this particular video, because in the days to come, you are going to get a lot of new fragrances coming to the Indian market, right? So let's talk about the fragrance itself. So this is called Ocean Rush. So, and with the bottle, you would kind of get an insight that this is going to be a blue fragrance. From a notes point of view, this particular fragrance has got a lot of happening to it. It starts with aldehydes, claire, sage, coriander, vetiver, cinnamon, geranium, carnation, honey, musk, civet, leather, and of course patchouli and all of that. So there's a lot going, of course, with the grapefruit. But what I can tell you is when you sniff this particular fragrance, and I would, in my opinion, tell you that it doesn't actually contain a lot of those things, but what you actually get primarily right at the top is you get a lot of grapefruit, citrus element, okay? You get a little bit of those light mid-tones of floral notes, probably could be geranium, something like that. You kind of get that a little bit. You do get a little bit of that fresh spicy element of coriander or clay sage or a rosemary kind of a thing, where you have, it's not very spicy, but then it's got a little bit of fresh spicy element to it. You do get that, and after about 20-25 minutes, you also get a slight tone of woody notes to it as well. So something like patchouli would be probably the right way of saying that. It's not a very woody like sandalwood or something like that, but the feeling of patchouli is something that you kind of get in the after the first 20-25 minutes time. So if you think about it, those are some of the prominent notes that you get. So you get citrus, you get a little bit of spice notes like thyme, rosemary, that kind of thing, and a little bit of that musky element along with that patchouli and all of that. Okay, so those are three stages of fragrance that you get on this particular one. Now, in my opinion, I would call this particular fragrance a Frankenstein fragrance, because this has got a lot of DNA of a lot of blue fragrances. Now, in one of the reviews that I watched, I also wanted to figure out where the hype train actually began. In that video, Aromatics actually talks about saying that this has got a lot of nuances of Versace Dylan Blue and Light Blue Intense and that kind of thing. So I did do a comparison to check with Dylan Blue, I did a comparison to check with Light Blue Intense, and I did a comparison with Bleu de Chanel. Because for me, when I first sniffed it, my initial thoughts were that this smells a little lighter version of Bleu de Chanel to be at least in the opening notes, and then it kind of moves to something else. So what I've been able to figure out, yes, is that it does have nuances of Bleu de Chanel right at the opening, because if you think about the blue citrusy opening with those spice elements and all of that, will give you the hints of Bleu de Chanel. Second, it's also got a little bit of the DNA of Dylan Blue as well, because again you have that citrus elements. It's also got a little bit of that sweeter element running to it at the background as well. It doesn't have nuances of Dylan Light Blue, but then it definitely has a little bit of Dylan Blue, not Light Blue Intense. It doesn't have any nuances of that. Dylan Blue, yes, a little bit of BDC in my opinion, but on the whole, if you say, it really doesn't capture any DNA in its totality. It captures DNA little of every blue fragrances. So that way, I definitely feel this is a Frankenstein of different blue fragrances put together to make something nice, right? Now, that is the signature scent profile. So of course, you will like the scent profile. So there is nothing about not liking it. When you put it on, you absolutely will like it, and you will see that it kind of carries on that for a few minutes, like 35 to 40 minutes. It's got that thing going, and after that, it starts to lighten up a little bit, right? So that way, the signature scent profile is pretty good. It is something that you will like, right? Now the question is the second part about, is this fragrance made by Alberto Morillas? The answer could be yes and no, because there is no definite concrete evidence of any of it. Because if you go to the website, it doesn't talk about Alberto Morillas, or it doesn't talk about any reference anywhere for that matter. Now this could be a case something like like how tech brands smaller Chinese or tech brands, how they tie up with bigger niche brands. Like for example, I would say talk about OnePlus. Now OnePlus, when at a point of time released a lot of phones which had Hasselblad as a co-creation and a brand name. Most of the time when they do collaborations like that, it is not that Hasselblad would do a lot of R&D for OnePlus and give something unique. Most of the time it will be that OnePlus would buy certain templates from these brands and use it in their products, and I use that brand name as a way of succession, right? So I feel that is the case with this. If Alberto Morillas has given his time, it could be in terms of some kind of templates or some kind of signature way of saying that, okay, you might use this or you might use this way, or maybe he has approved it or something like that, because that could be the only way that they have got this, because there is no official mention about it anywhere on their website or anything, right? So that is the second part. Now, coming to the performance part, because when we talk about the scent profile, and I said that you will actually like this particular fragrance, so let me go with a couple of sprays. Now, immediately you get a little bit of that slight alcohol blast, okay, which is there because a very light element of that, but then immediately you will start feeling those citrus elements along with this clear sage and all of that, and that's after about 20-25 minutes it kind of moves into a more lighter, it's more linear as a fragrance, but after the 20-25 minutes you will also feel that woody element I was talking to you about, which is above patchouli, right? Now in terms of performance, I would say that while this particular fragrance as a Freshie does well, relatively well, about 4 to 5 hours time, it doesn't last the 8 or 10 mark mentioned by others. I at least did not get that at all. So in my all of my testing that I've been doing extensively since yesterday, whatever I've been able to get is about 4-hour mark to 5-hour mark. The first 45 minutes to 1 hour is where there is slight projection. When I say even slight projection, I'm saying about 1.5 feet at maximum, 1 to 1.5 feet maximum, and the fragrance itself projects for about 45 minutes to 1 hour, after which it starts going down. On the skin in Bangalore, which is surprisingly a very good weather that we have, still I am saying that you have got about 4 hours plus. In the clothes, in the apparel, it will do about a 5 or 6 hour, which is okay, right? Now, it definitely doesn't do a 24 hours or 8 hours, 12 hours kind of thing. At least that's not what I've been getting at all. Now, why this is okay is because at the price point in which it comes, which is sub 1500 to 1800 rupees, if you're able to get this can become your everyday casual wear fragrance. This can be a fragrance that you can wear for gym, you can wear for office, you can casually pick it up and wear, because you will like the scent profile on this one, and it will make you feel that yes, you are wearing something something expensive, because it's got a lot of DNA of Dylan Blue de Chanel and all of that. So that way it's a very nice smelling blue fragrance, right? Now you could layer this with Blue de Chanel or EDP, or you could wear this with Dylan Blue, and that could bring out something else altogether. So that way, yes, you will have a scent profile that's very, very good. So yes, and that is what I think about this particular fragrance. So performance is for a Freshie, yes, 4 to 5 hours is not bad at all, because generally Freshies will do 3 to 4 hours. So if you're getting about 4 to 5 hours, which is slightly better, is not bad. Now, at a price point in which it comes, which is about the 1500, 1800 rupees category, or even if you say 2000 and less, it's still not bad, because you get a complete 100 ml of it for that price, which is still okay, I feel, if you're looking at a casual fragrance, right? Because if you take up something like Blue de Chanel or Versace Dylan Blue, then the price is more than 4-5 times, since for you to get even a 50 or 100 ml bottle. So from that point of view, I'm saying at the price point, this is okay. Now, what matters is the scent profile is good and it lasts decently. It doesn't project very well. It's still a soft scent. It's a scent that is exclusively good for college, university, your office, your casual wear, gym, and all of that. So that way it does well, right? So that has been my very quick thought about Rayhaan Ocean Rush. And if you really want to get this particular fragrance, I got it at 50 ml. I'm saying that I must have downed it about 5 ml, so it's about 45 ml. If somebody's looking for it, I could let it go, and you can contact me if you would want to try this particular fragrance and get your hands on that. Now, in the next few days to come, I am going to get a Camaro Intense. I'm also going to get John Love fragrance as well, and I'm going to get a couple of more as well. So we can definitely look forward to having that tried, and look at getting more reviews. So if you like the content, hit the like button, subscribe, and if it's the first video that you're watching for this particular fragrance, that would mean a lot if you leave a comment. So thank you so much. My name is Rodney. You're watching The Perfume Experience. Take care.